Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for a new sort of mini series, depending on how well this does, obviously. I'm going to be giving you guys all your favorite car brands and then 10 cars within that car brand for less than $5,000. Yes, we'll even do Lamborghinis. 10 Lamborghinis under $5,000. Can you believe it? I'm just kidding. Obviously, there's no Lamborghinis under $5,000, but today it's on Hondas. So we're doing 10 Hondas under $5,000. If you guys enjoy this video, I'll do it for other brands: Nissan, BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, Mercedes, whatever. I'll do any other brand. Yeah, I should be fun. If you guys want to support the channel any more than you already are, head on over to www.smoothstance.com. Yes, it's that many O's /shop to pick yourself up a hat, shirt, or shorts. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. All right, you stinky men, coming in at the number 10 spot is going to be the Honda Civic 8th generation. No, you're probably not going to be able to find an SI under 5K, so don't even ask. Those are a little bit over $5,000 right now, but if you wait a couple years, honestly, they will be under $5,000. They're looking good, but the 8th gen base model is still a very good choice in my opinion. They come with a 1.8 liter inline-4, making only 140 horsepower, and it was front-wheel drive. And I actually just want to get this out of the way very quickly. Most of these cars have low power stock, all right? It's a Honda. They're not fast stock. The magic lies within tuning them, okay? They aren't that competitive bone stock, but once you start getting some, in there, they're great. But either way, the 8th generation Civic is one of the newest Hondas on this list, actually, and in my opinion, it is probably one of the best first cars that you can get right now. They're incredibly reliable. Obviously Hondas are reliable, but these are a new, very reliable, low mileage for under $5,000. Good deal. Number 9 is going to the other powerhouse within the Honda world. I feel like Civic and the Accord, which this is the one that we're talking about, specifically the 7th generation, are the two giant monsters within the Honda world. They are the ones that people know the most. They are the ones that are the best. They are the ones that are the best sellers. If you get the coupe for the 7th gen, it looks awesome, but if you could get the sedan, it kind of looks like Dookie water, so pick your poison. This car, though, it actually comes with a 3-liter V6, making a very nice, actually, 240 horsepower, and it was front-wheel drive. Another very good thing to point out about Honda is all these cars on this list, yes, every single one of them are going to be available with a manual transmission, and they don't have that insane TikTok clout tax on them, so you can still find them for cheap while being incredibly reliable and good on gas. The Accord 7th generation is not just your grandma's grocery getting whip, but it can be a freaking 1320 video star with some simple mods, and I love that about it. Number 8, however, is going to one of the most underrated Hondas in my opinion, the Del Sol. This is pretty much a CRX, but even smaller, and it kind of looks like a mix between a Miata and an MR2 for some reason, and it looks like it would be mid-engine, but it's not mid-engine. It makes no sense, but whatever. The car comes with a very small 1.6 liter inline-4 and only makes a, once again, very small 106 horsepower going to the front wheels. Noticing a trend here, people? Almost every single Honda out there is front-wheel drive for some reason, so you better be ready for that, unless you're spending $20K on an S2000, all right? But they're going to be front-wheel drive. But the Del Sol may not have tons of power, but it does have that great weight distribution, so it handles corners like an absolute boss. They are literally a Miata, but front-wheel drive. If you want a Miata with a better motor in it, that's front-wheel drive, Del Sol, buddy. Del Sol. They also look kind of cute for anybody that's trying to get some girly friends. Number 7 is going to the damn Honda Accord. Yes, the second one. CB7 though. What? Another Accord already? Yes, but don't get used to it because this one is the last one on this list. Wah, wah, wah. Anyways, they're just so sick looking, bro. I had to put it here. They're not the best. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. They aren't the best Honda out there for many things, but they just look cool. That's why I put it here. It comes with a 2-liter inline-4, making a very small 133 horsepower, going to, you guessed it, the front wheels. These aren't as reliable as most Hondas, not as powerful as most Hondas, but that's not because it's a bad Honda. It's just because it's old. A lot of people get their hands on these Hondas and they start tuning them, and they think that they're going to be the next freaking Paul Walker, and they just make them so unreliable. And especially with these old Hondas, it's just a test of time. It's hard to find a stock one, but who cares, because they look like a proper JDM legend just waiting to happen, and engine swaps are a thing anyway. So if the engine is busted because of the last owner that has a 20 credit score, just swap the engine with something else. Number 6 is going to one of my personal favorite Hondas. Arguably might even be it's probably my most favorite front-wheel drive Honda. Let's just put it at that. It's the Prelude 4th generation. It looks like it's constantly angry at something, and I kind of like that. It kind of looks like that dude freaking Randall from Monsters Inc. That purple dude from Monsters Inc. It looks like him. But either way, it comes with a 2.2 liter inline-4, making a very nice, actually, 187 horsepower, going to the front wheels. In my opinion, this is one of the best looking Hondas out there, and I don't know how good it is for tuning, to be honest with you, but if it's anything like the other Hondas, it's probably pretty damn good. Just don't be surprised when people like don't know what kind of car it is though, because these things are slept on more than a freaking bed after more than the bed after the old man bumps his head and couldn't get up in the morning. This thing is just, it's just so slept on. By the way, I'm going to start using that analogy so much more now. That is a good analogy right there. But yeah, Prelude 4th Gen, beautiful looking car. Don't know how good it is for tuning, but if it's anything like the other Hondas, it's probably pretty good. Number 5 is going to the great, the legend, the damn 2nd generation Honda Odyssey, my friends. Holy moly, I am going to make a damn deep dive video on the Honda Odyssey soon enough because I love these things. All right, I was looking into them a little bit to like make this list, and at this point, I freaking love these minivans, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It comes with a very nice 3.5 liter V6, making 240 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive, of course. And this is the first car on this list that isn't a good idea for a race car, obviously. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good choice. If you're looking for something to haul the homies around in all summer long, or if you have a family, don't ask me how that is. I'm freaking 22 years old. You can go ahead and pick up a Honda Odyssey and still live out all your VTEC dreams. But now you have a minivan. Actually, don't quote me on that because I'm not sure that this car actually has VTEC. I'm pretty sure those are the only inline 4 motors for Hondas, and this is a V6. But either way, it's freaking cool. Also, people swap like K-series into these freaking Honda Odysseys, and it's the coolest thing ever. Number 4, however, we are going back to the sports cars out of the minivan world for the damn Acura Integra GSR. Yeah, I know it's not technically a Honda, but you know what I mean, you freaking negative Nancy. All right, this thing is a race car, and people are gonna yell at me and be like, "You don't have 5K." Yes, they are. All right, it comes with a 1.8 liter inline 4, making 170 horsepower, going to the front wheels, and this thing is one of the most loved Honda models out there, and for good reason. They're insane at making power. But the only reason that I didn't put this car actually higher is because they are getting hard to find under $5,000 nowadays, but you still can find them. Like, people are always leaving me comments every time I mention that the Integra GSR is under 5K. They always are like, "You ain't finding no Integra GSR under 5K in my part of town, buddy." I was like, I found them. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, man. If you can find one, they are a great project, but don't expect to be like driving this car right away. They're just old. Once again, a lot of people tuned them, and under 5K, it's gonna have some problems. 3rd place is going to the wonderful Honda CR-V, 1st or 2nd generation. It really doesn't matter, but both are dirt cheap and both came with an incredible motor, and both were offered with a manual transmission. I want to point out, by the way, I forgot to say it earlier, the Odyssey is the only car on this list that doesn't come with a manual, obviously, because it's a freaking minivan. Either way, this car came with a 2 liter inline 4, making 146 horsepower, and they were either front wheel drive or all-wheel drive, which is pretty cool, actually. It's the only vehicle on this list that has that option, and most importantly, they had a K-series motor in it, baby, so you know you're making some ridiculous power with this thing. Oh, and they like to go off-road, which can't really be said for many of the other Hondas on this list because Honda isn't necessarily the best off-roading brand. But if you want to go off-road, if you want to go fast, if you want to haul your friends around, if you want a reliable, good on gas, all-wheel drive monster for like $2,000, Honda CR-V. 2nd place is actually going to the car that you probably thought was going to be 1st place. It is the Honda Civic EK. Yes, it is probably one of the best cars in the world right now for its price, but I don't think it's truly the best. People, I'm gonna say it. They're a little overrated. I said it. They're 2nd place, so they're still a good car. I'm not saying they're a bad car, but I just think they're a little bit overrated, buddy. The car comes with a small 1.6 liter inline 4, making a small 120 horsepower to the front wheels. And this is actually the same motor that's found in the Del Sol once again, obviously with a little bit more tuning done to it to make more horsepower. But I do have to say this is probably the best looking generation of Civic in my personal opinion, besides maybe like the EG Civics. I think the EG Civics look really good, which is once again another very good option under 5K. Anyway, I'm getting off track. The only problem with the EK is that they almost have all been like modified in some way, so it's very sketchy buying one of these cars. Every single EK Civic on the market that is actually like desirable, you know what I'm talking about, the hatchbacks or the coupes, has been touched in some way, and it's just gonna be a nightmare. Honorable mention time, and it goes to the freaking Acura TSX, which is pretty much just a cool looking Honda Accord that was rebadged in America because we're weird and we get weird cars. The car comes with a 2.4 liter inline 4, making 204 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive, and that's actually not that bad for this list. Since it's a Honda list and they usually don't make that much horsepower. So 204 horsepower, that's not that bad. And since it looks very aggressive, I think this is a winner. All right, I think this is a good option. You can also get the TL 3rd gen, pretty much the exact same car, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's like anything different. Actually, no, those come with a V6, but you can get that car too. First place, however, is the actual winner of this list. Obviously, that's kind of how top 10 list works. It's the Acura RSX Type S. Yes, you can still find an Acura RSX Type S for under $5,000, at least up in New England, which is mind-blowing, I know, but it's still possible, and it's still an amazing deal. They come once again with a K-series motor, just like the CRV. It's a 2.4 liter inline 4, making 201 horsepower going to the front wheels, and it looks absolutely incredible. This is probably, if not the 4th gen Prelude, this is my favorite looking Honda. They just look great. On top of looking insane, they're still very reliable. They're faster than the Integra everybody knows and loves, since it's the next generation of Integra, obviously. And most importantly, it has an endless amount of aftermarket support for it to make it go freaking lickety split. There's literally no downside to the RSX I can think of, except maybe the fact that they're getting hard to find, to be honest, and under 5K, it's gonna be something crazy out there. And they're a little bit slow off the line, sure, but who keeps a Honda stock? Nerds. But if you're smart and you're patient, you can find a RSX Type S under $5,000 all day long. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video. Top 10 Hondas under $5,000. Let me know if you guys like this little mini series. We might keep doing them. We can do literally any brand that's reasonable. Obviously, I'm not going to do like top 10 freaking Daewoo's under 5K because I don't know anything about Daewoo's. I'm not going to do top 10 freaking Ariel Adams under 5K. Like that's not gonna happen. But if you guys want to see a brand like Nissan, Toyota, Lexus, Infiniti, Ford, BMW, whatever, let me know and I will make it happen if you guys enjoyed this video. Also guys, let me know if you guys have been playing the new Call of Duty. I'm a freaking gamer. Yeah, look at me, look how gamer I am. I'm such a gamer. So let me know if you guys have been enjoying that game. It's pretty fun. And Das Vidania, have a nice night.